It has been a minute since I've been on here doing this. Before we get started, I want to say a thank you to our ancestors, each and every one, all the way back to the original mother and father that gave birth to us all. Thank you to them for their guidance, their wisdom, the strength, and all the lessons that they've left behind, the paths they've left for us to follow, and the guidance they give us on our journey. Thank you guys for being here today. Really appreciate you guys. I think this is going to be a really good reading. We are going to talk about what blessings there are to be grateful for in our life today. Sometimes it can be extremely hard to find that silver lining when you got a storm going on, but there definitely always is one. Doesn't matter what you're going through or why, there's always some sort of silver lining. And we're going to find it today so that we can focus on it, so that we can say our thank yous, so that we can give a prayer to those that we pray to and tell them thank you for what we have in our lives. So, let's get started with today's reading. Also, remember guys, if you enjoy this reading, to support my channel in the ways that you can. Like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a timestamp, a donation, hit the little super thanks button. Everything that you guys do really helps me out so much, and I truly appreciate it. Each and every single thing that you guys do to support me and the work that I do means so much to not only me, but the entire world around us. Everyone else who is here to listen to these messages and learn from them and grow from them. So, let's see what we got going on for today's message. Let me see if I can find my little picture cards really quick. They kind of destroyed pretty much everything in here, but all of the Ziploc bags I found with my messages in them, I threw up on the dashboard, and luckily that one was pretty easily accessible. So let's see what we got. I'm going to also clean this lens off because it looks kind of dirtier than normal. Bam. Hi Rashima, nice to see you, beautiful. Thank you. I hope you have a beautiful and abundant day yourself. Hello everybody else here as well. So, let's see what we have in our lives to be grateful for today. Warm hugs. So you may have somebody around you that you have more of an intimate connection or intimate involvement with. Somebody that you can lean on when you're feeling down. Somebody's shoulder that you can cry on when you need it. That is definitely something to be grateful for. Not everybody in this world gets that. And every one of us at some point in time in our life will probably have a period where we feel like we don't have that shoulder to cry on or that person to hug us when we're feeling down. So whether it's an animal in your life or whether it's a human being in your life that you have, that you can hug, that you can hold, that is there to lift you up when you're feeling down, that is something to be grateful for. Even if it's just, say, the readers on here, or your friends on Facebook, or your family over the phone. Even that is something that can help you feel less alone. Last night, I was kind of having a moment there where I was kind of repeating that same prayer that I was saying this last year, where it would be nice to know I'm not alone right at this moment. All day yesterday and especially last night, I was having a little bit of PTSD as far as the cops are concerned. And you know, I've talked to other people about that before too. And I've always understood that it's not something that you can just get rid of instantly or anything like that. But I also listened to and tried to follow my own advice on that. At the same time, I was just really feeling kind of alone last night. And my daughter ended up calling me. And I told her that she was the answer to my prayer last night. Because she took that calling, she didn't even know why she was calling me, but she took that feeling of I need to call my mom and called me. If you have somebody in your life that happens to pop up like that when you're feeling alone, especially if you've just prayed about it and asked for a sign that there's somebody there that cares, make sure that you say thank you and make sure that you acknowledge that and see that for the blessing that it is, because it is a blessing. That is how earth angels work on this earth. Earth angels are no more perfect than anybody else. The things that they do would be to lift others up when they're down, to be there to reach out, or to be there to pick up the phone, or to be there to give a hug when it's needed, or to give advice when somebody's seeking it, and to not feel hurt if they don't follow it, because they're not always going to follow it. Sometimes they just needed to hear somebody else tell them something about it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are going to take that and use it. They may find a different way that's all their own to deal with it, and who's to say if it's wrong or not. There could also be places that you visit regularly. Hey! I think they found some birds. Oh, yes, they did. Hey, you be nice to that, ducky. We're going to go chase down these dogs that just decided to chase down that bird really quick. Sadie Mama, Angel Baby, get your butts over here. Sadie, Angel, shame on you guys. If it's any consolation, they probably don't actually want to hurt it. But then again, you know, they are dogs. Angel, Mama, get over here. Thank you. Come on, move it. Move it. Good girl. Sadie Mama, where are you at? There you are. Good girl. Good girls. And apparently that means you guys need to get in the car while we're doing this. Come on. You were being a good girl, Princess. You listened right away. Good job. Same to you, Hank, which is surprising because you're a stubborn ass, aren't you? Aren't you? I am so happy to have these guys back, and they were so happy to be home, too. Come on. In the car we go, because babies aren't listening. Come on. You were doing a good job. I know. You were. You were doing a good job. You can run around for a bit if you want. Get in there. Go ahead. Go ahead, Hank. Come on, Mama. You weren't listening either. You need to get your butt in the car, too. Come on. Mama. What'd you want in, Hank? Okay. Well, go ahead. Angel, move your butt so Hank can get in. Come on. In you go. I got you. Ooh, there you go. He is such a heavy butt, but sometimes has a really hard time getting in and out of the car. And I especially don't like it when he's soaking wet. So, back to what we were doing. Like I was saying, there might actually be places that you go on a regular basis where you may actually sit and chat with the employees at certain places. And this could be something that you have to be grateful for as well. The fact that you have people that don't just treat you like you're invisible kind of thing. If some of you have a job and you're feeling like it's not good enough, or it's not the best in the world, or it's not where you want to be, or it's something in a very low position starting off, there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has to start from the bottom up, and that doesn't matter when you start. If you start at 18, if you start at 30, it doesn't matter when you start. Everyone has to start from the bottom and work their way up when it comes to things like that. So remember to be grateful for the position you have, even if it is not the highest position at this point. As you learn and gain experience and grow, you will be able to move up and shift and find new situations or new employment. And if you are really wanting something else, then now is the time to make those changes in your life and to find something else that you do enjoy more. But be grateful for what you have while you're looking too, because it is easier a lot of times to find a new job or new employment while you have one that you're already working. Crying is not something that you do a lot, but you truly mean it when you do. So something else to be grateful for is your genuine emotions. Some of you may feel like it makes you weak to cry, or some of you may feel like, some of you may have a hard time crying because you may feel like it's manipulative in a way, because maybe you've dealt with a lot of manipulation when it comes to that. But when you cry, it is definitely something real, and there is no reason to feel any guilt over that if you're feeling some guilt over that. And if you have somebody else around you that has cried recently, and this is somebody that you have never seen their tears before, that is a gift they have given you. They are probably somebody who feels extremely vulnerable when they are expressing that kind of emotion, and they probably do not express that kind of emotion very often. There's actually been two men that I've seen, actually a few men that I've seen, quite a few men that I've seen, that don't really cry ever. You would never imagine or guess that they cried. There was actually one of them, I was trying to decide if he even had emotions. And to be gifted with those tears, when those tears fall down, and they are someone who very rarely does that, that is something to be extremely grateful for as well, because it is a true gift that you have been given from someone close to you, and vice versa. You may not cry often, but when you do, you may have someone there that will lift you up when you're down. And vice versa, if you have someone around you who does not cry often, but has chosen you as the person whose shoulder they want to cry on, and the person that they want to reach out, that is a gift. So embrace that gift and show that person that love in return, that kindness, that care. Libra. So there may be some decisions that you're having a hard time making at this point in time. There may be some things that are trying to balance out in your life in some way. You may be questioning things a lot. And you know what? Being able to question things and look at things from every angle is something to be grateful for as well, as long as we don't get stuck in it to the point that we end up not being able to move forward because we're paralyzed by the fear of making the wrong decision. So don't get stuck so much in the fear of making the wrong decision, and know that what you choose will be the right decision for yourself. Justice is going to be coming in some sort of way as well. Someone may spend a lot of time trying to shield or hide their emotions in some way. Like I was saying, there could definitely be somebody around you guys that has a hard time crying or showing their true emotions or showing their true feelings. This person may wear sunglasses a lot, or they may kind of avoid eye contact or avoid looking directly at you when they're upset about something. And this is because they feel like when they do, it's a little extra overwhelming, and it kind of overcomes them to where they end up showing more than they want to. You have somebody around you that feels like they show you more of themselves than they show anyone else. And they may have a really hard time with that. It's okay if you hurt for them, but they need this. So you may hurt for somebody in your life at this point in time. You may be in a lot of pain over somebody or something. And at the same time, whatever this person is going through, these are the things that this person needs to go through. No more. So there may have been contact cut off in a certain situation as well. This could be something to be grateful for too. Somebody could be having trouble with their phone. Somebody may have got their phone shut off. Somebody may not be able to reach out to you. Somebody may not, it's kind of like right now, the guy that I'm seeing has no money on his account down there, and he isn't able to talk to really anybody, and a lot of people don't really answer when he calls. And yeah, it does hurt. And it hurts watching it. There was one day I was walking past the rec room down to booking, and he was sitting outside in the rec area. Nobody else from his bunk went out to rec that day. So he was sitting out there by himself, staring at the wall across from him, and just mired in so much depression, so much pain, so much hurt. And even though I couldn't, and he was behind a locked door and a bunch of glass, all I wanted to do was be able to reach out and hug him, be able to tell him it's okay, you're not alone. He didn't see me walking past the first time, though. When I came back out, he saw me, and he lit up immediately. And if you can have that kind of effect on somebody, that's something to be grateful for, too. And if somebody can have that kind of effect on you. And sometimes we don't see those things when we have everyone around us all the time. Sometimes it takes dramatic experiences like that to be able to see who has our back and who's in our corner when we need it most, or who will lift us up when we're down. So don't be afraid to let them show your true colors, true colors up. You may have some defensiveness, and you may occasionally kind of shut people out or close people out, or, snap at people when you're upset about something. And if you have people that are still there, regardless of whether or not you've been through a traumatic time, and whether or not you've been in a paranoid or defensive state, or whether or not you've been hurting and down, and they are still there at the end of the day to pick up your phone call or to talk to you or to reach out to you in some way, remember to be grateful for that. You know what's amazing? And when my daughter called last night, they're going to come see me today. There's one of her friends that she brought to me at one point in time because she felt like I could help her more than she could. And she's like, I try to help her and I listen to the things she has to say, but I feel like you would be able to help her more. And I did tell her that, you know what? If you're the one she's going to, you are helping her. And you're probably helping her more than you would ever realize or know. But I did sit down and talk to her, and I've talked to her a few different times, and I've sent her some messages and things like that. She is so excited to see me today. And she was kind of upset because she couldn't come visit me when they were coming to visit me down there, because she isn't my kid. I got to look into that and see if she would be allowed to come down there with them, because if I do end up in there for a little while, because I'm not going to plead guilty, I'm going to plead not guilty, and I'm going to fight this. And if I end up in there for a little while, it would be good to know whether or not she would be able to come down and visit too. She's been abandoned enough by people in her life, and she doesn't need anybody else abandoning her. And I'm not necessarily talking about people walking away either. I'm talking about the emotional abandonment. If you have different outfits, different clothes, a lot of different choices when it comes to those clothes, if you have a lot of creativity as well, all of those things are things to be grateful for. If you're able to switch it up when you want to, or if you're able to just be yourself and express yourself in the ways that you want to express yourself, that's something to be very grateful for as well. Not everybody can do that. There's a lot of places that people sacrifice the way that they look, the way that they dress, the way that they talk, the way that they do their hair, whatever the case may be, in order to seek employment, or in order to seek love, in order to seek companionship. And if you have found people who accept you as you are, or found a place of work that you can be accepted as you are and just be what you want to be, that is something to be truly grateful for as well. And this is reminding me of Mulan now too. When will my reflection reflection show who I am inside. So, this is also the lucky cricket moment when they're taking her down to the matchmaker to change the way she looks and everything about her. And yeah, this lucky cricket was pretty damn lucky for her grandma, that's for sure. Some of you may have a grandma from the other side that is trying to reach out to you as well. A grandma that is trying to let you know that it's okay to be you. Trying to push you even more so to be yourself. 1157, 693. There could be somebody that's like a father-like figure in your life that you have to be grateful for as well. The reunion of a certain connection in your life could be something to be grateful for. 888. The blessings and bounty, the abundance and fulfillment that is coming in from the hard work that you have put in. Even if it is from hard work that you've put in, even if it's from a lot of time, energy, and effort spent developing your skills, that is still something to be very grateful for. 95, there could be a sibling in your life as well to be grateful for. This could actually be a sibling that you may not be in full contact with. This could be somebody that you have grown apart from, or somebody that there's been a distance created between you. But you may be needing to look back on the past now with gratitude and love for what you have had in the past, and hope and belief in the joy that you could have in the future. 2211. 4030, 1502, 1632. For some of you, this could be somebody that's half your age as well. So maybe you guys didn't grow up together, per se. A gift for you, valid only in the U.S. 627, 1157. Debit Visa card. Somebody could be offering you some sort of money or monetary assistance in some way. And that could be something to be grateful for in your life as well. It's not every day that you have somebody willing to do that. And it's not every person that has somebody willing to do that. Like I was saying in my video yesterday, if you happen to see it, or if you didn't, I had absolutely no hope, even with my bail getting reduced to $2,500, of being able to get out of there and of being able to have somebody actually co-sign for me and have somebody come up with the money to take care of that. The majority of the people I know do not have much money, 2222. But sometimes that friendship makes up for it. The guy that came and bailed me out borrowed that money from other people. He went and found money to get me out of there. Which is why I'm going to spend the rest of this week trying really hard to get him the rest of it back by Sunday. I got him 150 of it out of 280, and I still got to get him another 130 by Sunday. And that is a gift to be grateful for. Even if I have to pay it back, and even if I'm going to work my ass off, and even if I'm going to have to go through a lot this week to try to get that back to him. That is something that I am so grateful for, because that is the only person in my life that I found that was willing to do that, that was able to do that at that time. You may have a certain friend in your life as well. Somebody who may have a lot of addictions, and some of these addictions could really affect your connection or your relationship with them. They could really affect the things that this person does, the steps that they take, the ways that they behave. This person may also have some issues with pathological lying. 2444. This person may also be somebody who has stolen things at some point. Things like that. This person could be somebody who spends a lot of their time kind of high or drunk or something, to where they're really intoxicated a lot. Because this person may have a lot of pain or hurt in their life that they are trying to work through. And who's to say how long that grieving process takes or that trauma takes to work through? For some people, it takes a whole hell of a lot longer than it does for other people. And the fact that you have been there for this person is so grateful for you. And maybe some of you have gone through your own experiences recently as well, to where you've had to somewhat walk in the footsteps of some of these people around you that you've been there for. And look around and see that there are people for you that are there too in those moments, so that you could find the gratitude and the beauty. We have this 3-leaf clover. It's not quite a 4-leaf clover, but it's still very lucky, and it's lucky in love. It's like you got the 3 corners and you're waiting for that 4th one to line up. And you have the key to how to unlock this door, how to make everything fit into place, and how to make this love and abundance come back to life. You know what's funny? I've actually been thinking about the last couple days. This country was so abundant, was so fertile, was really at the top of its game, was moving forward, was doing great things back when they used to be more free. Now that they have gotten so restrictive, so authoritative, so controlling, so abusive towards its citizens, there's a lot of division, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of paranoia, there's a lot of dissension in the ranks. And that's caused by them trying to abuse and overuse their power to put us in our place. When you're in a connection or a relationship, the same thing happens when you're doing that. But when you allow people the freedom to be themselves and the freedom to move about and the freedom to find their way on their own terms, the freedom to do things the way that they're going to do things, and you allow yourself that same freedom and they allow you that same freedom, then that connection and that relationship can blossom with abundance and fertility and growth. Wahoo's Family Fun Zone, reloadable game card, redeem for points and prizes. Retain and reload this card for future use. So somebody might actually even be giving you repeated payments throughout time as well. And this might be something that you need to be very grateful for as well. There could actually be somebody helping out to support and to give to somebody that you love or care about, somebody that is a friend of yours or that you're in a relationship with. There could actually be people that are there to support them, to give to them, so that you don't have to do it all. And it's a very good thing to have that. When you're not in a codependent connection, when you're in an interdependent connection, both parties are able to have friendships outside of that connection. Both parties are able to have a life outside of that connection. And both parties have that support coming in from other places too, and not just their partner. So everything is not just on their partner. The fun, the happiness, the joy, the play, the time that you get with certain people. Those are things to be grateful for. Maybe even the time that you get with your children, or the time that somebody that you love gets with your children. IPO, Lover, Kona Brewing Company. There's a lizard on the back of this too. So there could be certain lovers from your past, or certain people from your past, that you need to really find the gratitude for. Because of the things that you have gone through with them, you were able to get to the point you are now in other connections or relationships in your life. You were able to build a solid, strong foundation with certain people in your life because of what you've gone through with others. So those are things to be grateful for. And Lover by Taylor Swift is coming to mind too. If you have a place where you are able to decide who comes and who goes, where you're able to allow the people that you love a safe place to be when they're hurting or they're down or they're out, or you have that on your way to you, or if somebody has provided that for you, then all of those things are things to be grateful for. And those are things that you need to re-examine and look at from the position you're in now. I feel like there's some things in the past that you really need to go back and look at so that you can understand them from where you're at right now instead of where you were then. 55. 29 too. You could have been in a very hopeless place at that point. You could have been in a very dark place at that point. You could have been having a hard time finding peace or balance or friendship or love or light in your life. You could have been feeling very down, out, left in the cold. You could have been feeling very ashamed of yourself or having a lot of self-esteem issues in the past. And this could have prevented you from being able to see a lot of the people around you in a higher light. And so now may be the time that you're being asked to look back on the past to understand these connections and these situations in a different way as you're moving forward. You may be coming into a very strong position of power in certain ways. You may be unlocking your throne. I'm headed straight to the castle. They want to make me their queen. 44. But there's an old man sitting on the throne and he says, I probably shouldn't be so mean. Well, too bad. I had a dream about somebody in the past, and it was a weird, fucked up, weird dream. But he was like, you really don't know how to kiss ass, do you? No. Well, I do know how. I came from a fucking family of ass kissers because you know what? They worked for tips all their lives. That's what they did. And I do know how. Do I want to? No. I don't feel like I should have to drop to my knees and kiss somebody's ass for them to treat me with respect. If I'm treating them with respect, they should treat me with respect. I'm no lower than them. They're no higher than me. They're no lower than me, but they're no higher than me either. The janitor deserves just as much respect as the CEO, and vice versa. Your ability to communicate and your ability to find solutions with your communication, maybe even the communication that you're having with somebody that's bringing peace, that's bringing balance. You know what? It's fucking amazing the level of communication I have been able to have with Jeremiah. We have solved so many problems and found peace with our communication. And that's because there was two parties interested in finding that resolution. And it's also because everybody set their pride to the side. Don't let your pride get in the way when it comes to the peacemaking that you're making in your life. There could also be the ex of somebody that you are dating or the ex of an ex-partner or something along those lines that you really need to have gratitude for as well, because you may have taken a lot of things from this person, but the people in their past took even more, because before they ran into the people in their past, 33, they were learning, growing. They had been through a lot of extra obstacles before they found you. So they had already shifted and changed some of those things. You did not have to put up with as much baggage because of the baggage that was already released in that past connection. You may be having a hard time possibly with allowing the one that you love to be friends with the people that are in their life from the past, or to be friends with their ex-partners, or whatever the case may be. But there's no reason for that. Because if this person is choosing you, they're choosing you, regardless of whether or not those other people are around. Have that confidence, that self-esteem, that self-assurance to know that at the end of the day, they're coming home to you. And to allow that to be, 3322, what guides you most. And not the fear that there could be something going on between them and those people. 3333. You are definitely protected at this time, and that's something to be grateful for as well. The protection that you're receiving, the guidance that you're receiving, the love and care that you're receiving from others. There may even be somebody who has went out on a limb for you, that has taken a chance. The price of loyalty. Somebody may have been extremely loyal to you recently. They may have done something for you that nobody has done throughout your life. They may have stepped up when others stepped out. And they may have really went to bat for you in some sort of way. And this is something to be grateful for. Which reminds me, I still got to get a thank you card for somebody in particular as well. Somebody that I didn't even know. So, turn that back off for the moment. Let's see what else we get here. What is there to be grateful for? The communication, once again, the courage and strength that it takes to communicate. The bravery. If I only had a heart. Courage is what that one was looking for. The lion was looking for courage on the Wizard of Oz. The lion was looking for the courage, but the courage was within him the whole time. The courage that has been within you the entire time, that is finally coming to the surface, the courage to be able to say what you need to say, to be able to plan what you need to plan, to be able to go off on this new path and learn something that you may not know a lot about as well. And it could even be the courage of somebody in your life to strike out on this new path, to learn something about something they don't know much about either. You may be having somebody that is willing to learn, to be able to be with you, to learn how to love you, to learn what it requires to have this success. And they may be a little bit slow at it. They may be, unsure of how to express their feelings, or unsure of how to tell you the love they have within them, unsure of how to express what it is that they have to say. And they may even be extremely scared to do it, but they're ready to do it. They're ready to recognize you. They're ready to give you this recognition. They're ready to tell you their feelings. They're ready to express themselves. And they've been trying to do it in small ways. But it's going to get bigger as it goes. This person, it's requiring a lot of courage here for this person to express the emotions that they have within them, for this person to trust their wings to fly as they jump into this situation. It is taking a lot. So it may seem small to you, and it may seem insignificant to you. The things that this person has learned to do and is putting to work in their life, or is putting to work in the connection with you. But to them, this is a gigantic leap that they are taking. And they're taking it into this black pit that they're unsure of whether or not they're going to come out the other side. So be grateful for the steps that they are taking to express how they feel inside. Because to them, this is the scariest experience of their life right now. And to you, it may not seem like much, but they are giving you everything with these few simple words that they have. Because they are placing you in a very high position of power, and they feel like at any moment you can pull that rug out from underneath them. I was getting kind of used to being someone you loved. That song's what's coming to mind. And you're not here to get me through it all. This person could have had the rug pulled out from underneath them from a lot of people in the past. They could have put their heart out there fully, and they could have trusted people with it. And people could have stepped on it and bruised it and damaged it and hurt it. And now these tiny baby steps that they are taking to slowly give you pieces of their heart, which is a less toxic way of doing it, too, by the way. These are gigantic leaps for this person. And this person is feeling very nervous, very scared, very worried about what they're doing. But they love you very much, and they are trying to show and express those feelings. So give them a bit of a break. Give yourself a bit of a break. Calm down, relax, take a breath, and find the gratitude within you for the beautiful energy that they are showing you. Oh, there is a turkey. I think it's a wild turkey out here with her babies. Look at the little babies. Ah, there's little babies. If you have your babies with you, now's a good time to be thankful for those too. And if this is your babies that are having that hard time expressing those things to you, remember that as well. Sometimes it gets really hard to express those things. Sometimes when we're working through a lot of the pain or the hurt in our lives, things get a little bit distorted. Death, the hermit. Be grateful for your voice and be grateful for the voices of others. Our voices are so powerful that they can break through so many barriers. The love that we express, the joy, the happiness, the playfulness, the silliness, the childlike energy that we can bring out of ourselves at times is something to be so grateful for. In that episode of Buffy, these three guys here, the gentlemen are coming to town, can't even cry, can't even shout. These guys were ripping the hearts out of people. And one girl's voice stopped them because she found her voice to shout out loud. Now It's My Life is coming to mind. I'm going to shout it out loud. It's my life. It's now or never. Because I ain't going to live forever. It may be time to express some of the things that you've gone through and some of the situations you've gone through as well. Because when people have to face what they've done and face that accountability and own up to things, that's when shifts and changes occur. And once again, it's okay if you hurt for them, but they need this. It's okay if you hurt for them when you call people out on the things that you're calling them out on, when you are expressing your truth, or when you are expressing how you feel. It's okay that sometimes people hurt. And it's okay that sometimes you hurt when others express how they're feeling. When that happens, we need to look within ourselves to understand why we're hurting in that moment. Why we might be feeling defensive, or why we might be lashing out because of it, or whatever the case may be. Because that's where we're going to find the biggest answers. I have a lot of people checking on me this morning. I'm kind of grateful for that. Also, be grateful for the time that you have gotten on your own to be by yourself, the time that you have dedicated to your meditation, the time you've dedicated to your spirituality, to increasing your skills, maybe even the time that others are spending on their own to be able to increase those skills themselves. Because somebody may actually be working very hard on their communication skills, or on some sort of skills that they feel very weak in. And they may be taking some time to themselves to do this. And when they come back, you're going to be extremely amazed by it. Oz actually took off for a while so that he could learn how to deal with his anger, how to manage his emotions, so he could learn how to control that beast within him and tame it a bit, so it wasn't just coming out and hurting everyone around him. And when he came back, he was a very changed person from who he was before. Sometimes people need that journey on their own to gain that wisdom and to gain that knowledge. So be grateful for the journeys that you've taken on your own, and also be grateful for the journeys that others around you have taken as well. The journeys that have made them more themselves, made them more able to just enjoy themselves and to have fun. Have fun yourself. Don't spend all of your time worrying about the people as well. Sometimes people kind of disappear for a bit out of your life, or kind of have a lot going on and get a little bit distant, or sometimes they have shit they're dealing with. Vice versa, you may have shit you're dealing with. And once you're able to be a little less judgmental with them, and you're able to live your life and not worry so much about it all the time, they can do the same as well when it comes to you, and you can do the same when it comes to you, and you don't feel like you have to constantly always be there or everything's going to fall apart. Be grateful for the journeys that you have been taking recently. Some of them have been very hard. There may have been some deaths in your life. There may have been some endings in your life. 333. There may have been a lot of shifts or dramatic changes, or there may have been a lot of things that were extremely hard that you are going through. Be grateful for the protection you did have and the fact that it wasn't worse. But also be grateful for these experiences that you've had, because it's allowed you to see things from new eyes and new perspectives. It's allowed you to drop and let go of some of the previous judgments that you've had. And it could be people in your life as well that have gone through this. 44 and 404. There could have been some errors that people were making, or there could have been some errors in judgment that maybe you made in the past, and maybe you're kind of beating yourself up over this. Forgiveness by Callan Raps. That song's a great song. And you know, you deserve grace as much as anybody else does. You deserve acceptance as much as anybody else does. You could not act on the lessons that you have learned and grown through, and the things that you know now before you knew them. But now you know them. And it's because of the journeys that you've had to go through that you do know them. And vice versa with the people. So be grateful for the journeys they've gone through, the experiences they've had, the pain or the trauma or the hurt or the scars that they've faced in their life. Yes, it's painful, and yes, you can cry for them, and yes, you can have that empathy for them. But remember that those are what made them who they are. And without those things, they wouldn't be the person standing in front of you that you love so much, and vice versa. Without the things you've gone through, you wouldn't be the person that's standing here today. Be grateful for the expressions of love that people are giving you, even when they're small and even when they are inexperienced. There's a lot of people there are people that I have met that are 50 years old that still don't know how to express their love or how to connect intimately with people or how to open up to people or how to drop their guard a little bit or how to behave in a relationship or even just how to say I love you or how to show it. And they stumble and they feel stupid and they feel naive and they feel like they're a dumbass while they're trying to work this out and figure it out. And the best thing that you can do in those moments is support their growth, support the learning that they're doing, support the fact that they're trying. And also to not be so hard on yourself and to love the fact that you're trying when it comes to the new things that you're trying to learn how to do in your life too. All of us are weak in some areas, and all of us have to build those skills in each of those areas. And sometimes people find one area more important and they build the skills in that area, and then another area might be lacking. So now they're trying to work on and build skills in that area. The Hanged Man. Be grateful for the pause that's going on. There is a pause going on in certain situations. This pause is so that certain things can end out and new things can begin. This pause is so that people can understand what's most important to them, understand what has most meaning, understand what they want to work on, what they want to grow, and also so that they can work on those skills and build their knowledge in certain areas. There may be an apology coming in as well, or there may have been an apology that you have accepted already, 4722. There may even be somebody that you have forgiven a long time ago, that you have let it go, left it behind, and there might actually be somebody getting ready to come forward and apologize for certain things that they've done, certain ways that they behave, maybe even for gossip or drama that was going on, or maybe even for choosing someone over you or taking the side of someone over you. When now, hindsight, they may be seeing that that was the wrong position to take. I have actually apologized to somebody recently for just that myself. Because we don't always see it when we're standing in it. But hindsight is 20/20. And when we see those moments, it is on us to act in those moments with integrity. And to go forward and apologize for the things that we feel like we need to apologize for. So you may be getting a very overdue apology from somebody in your life. Something that's going to it's going to have the seeds of peace and harmony, friendship, balance, a very long-lasting, strong connection that's built with a very solid foundation in your life. But it's going to be your job to water those seeds when this person comes forward and hands them to you. Because all they got is the seeds. They don't got nothing else. They got the seeds, and they're coming forward with these seeds in their hands, and they're so nervous and so afraid. And they are afraid that you're going to take those seeds and just scatter them to the wind, that you're going to smack their hand and tell them to get the fuck out of your face because you don't want to hear it. Because they know they did you so dirty that there may be no way in hell that you will ever forgive them, but miracles happen every day. Are you going to be one of those miracles in this person's life? Are you going to find gratitude in the strength they found to come forward and to express these things to you and to bring these truths to you? Because that's where gratitude comes in. Gratitude gives us the strength and courage to be open and receptive to that and to water those seeds that they're handing you, to plant them in that dirt, and then you both can water them. You both can take care of them after that. It takes one person to take that first move, but it takes another person to take that next move. After that person makes that first move, it's the other person's job to make the next move. And that's what creates that equal give and take too. If one person is making all the moves, that's not an equal give and take, whether it's on your side or the other person's side. And sometimes we can become a taker when we've been a giver for so long. But I know that none of us wants to become that. And at the same time, like I said, hindsight is 20/20 sometimes. Yes, it's going to take strength and courage, and you may not feel like you have it in you to be able to face these things. Some of you have been left alone so that you can understand the courage that you have within you, the strength that you have within you to be able to face these things. Some of you are getting a new perspective on life, a new understanding on life. Riley was working for who he thought was the heroes the whole time. And then he realized the people that he was working for were the villains. And he decided to switch sides. It took strength and courage to switch those sides. And whoever this person is that's going to be coming forward, or if it's you that's going to be coming forward that has decided to stop pleasing others and that has decided to stop supporting whatever team that they were supporting in the past because they have found out things that they didn't know before, and they are ready to start supporting the other side because the other side is where the true hero is found, or the true goodness is found, or the true beauty is found. It takes a lot of courage to do that. So when they do, try to be there to accept them with open arms. Die Happy is the song that just came to mind. I can die happy because you chose to spend your spare time with me. I can die happy for a moment, happy because you stole my spare time. Some of you may be worried about a death that you know is getting close in your life. A death that's going to bring a lot of pain, a lot of hardship, a lot of hurt. Some of you may even have to go away for a while and spend some time on your own away from everybody else because of the pain that this brings you. Some of you, this is going to give you a new perspective on the distance that others have created for you during hard times in their life as well. Some of you are going to be battling very strongly with feeling like you're selfish because of doing this. But how are you supposed to fill up somebody's cup if you have nothing left in your own? There's a song that I was just thinking of. If I give until it's gone, till it's gone, by Yellow Wolf. Till it's gone. And you can't just give and give and give till it's gone. Sometimes you got to take some space for you to fill you back up again. She left town after somebody she loved very much passed away. After she actually had to sacrifice them to save the world and save everyone else. She committed an extremely selfless act. And then she committed a selfish one where she didn't tell anybody and she took off and she left for months. And everybody was pissed off at her when she got back, but she's like, look, I needed some time. I needed some space. I needed some me. I couldn't worry about saving everybody else at that moment. Everybody else needed to take care of themselves for a minute so I could take care of me. And sometimes that happens, where people just need to be able to take care of themselves instead of everybody around them. Cups by Anna Kendrick is coming to mind too. You're gonna miss me when I'm gone. And this experience is going to cause people to realize what was in front of them as well. Whether it's you or other people, people are going to realize what they had and what they lost with this person disappearing like that. God, this mama and her babies are just so fucking adorable out here. They're so beautiful. I don't know if you guys can see them from here, but look at them. There's 5 of them all together. You can only see 3 right now if you can see them. I keep getting lost watching them out there because they're just so cute. My mom has 5 kids. My mom is fairly sick. There was actually a point in time around Mother's Day where I don't know why, but I was just like, you know what? I said like a goodbye. It was almost like a final goodbye. And I'm pretty sure she heard that in there because she's like, what? Why? And I was like, just in case, because I just want to say it just in case. And you know what? Not too long after that, she actually thought she was dying. She was really in really, really rough shape. And like not able to do a whole lot. Not able to even get around a whole lot. And my little brother popped by one day and seen how she was doing. And he's like, oh my God. And he started coming over daily to make sure to do a few things for her. Which doesn't happen much from a lot of her kids. I used to do pretty much everything while I was there. It was like 2 years after I left, and she's like, I am so sorry for thinking you were the worst kid that I ever had, because you were the best kid that I ever had. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Because when she lost me, you're going to miss me when I'm gone. When she lost me, that's when it hit her that, holy shit, look at all these things that she was doing that I never even saw for years. And then I kind of went through my time period of needing to heal some of the things that we went through when I was younger. The time period that my older siblings and my younger siblings were going through or had gone through before I left. And I was a little bit judgmental of them for the way that they were treating our mother, which is probably why I've been as hard on myself as I have been for the ways that I've treated some of the people in my life the last couple of years, while I was trying to fucking heal myself and take care of me a bit more. Hi, sweetheart. It's very hard when your parents are sick. My dad passed away a little over 5 years ago now. And honestly, I only know what year because I found something earlier. It was like 2 months ago. I found something that reminded me of what year he passed away. I do not keep track of deaths. I don't need to keep track of a day that is going to make me miserable every day, the same day every year. My stepmom does that. She keeps track of every date that everyone ever passed away, everyone that she loved was gone, and all that kind of stuff. And it just, but at least she sets aside that grieving time, and everybody does that in their own ways. That's not the way I like to do it. I grieve when I feel like I need to grieve, and then, I don't need one day that's set aside for misery every year. Especially when it's something like my ex, his dad actually passed away on his brother's birthday. That's some fucked up shit right there. And now you're gonna every year be miserable on your birthday because that's the day he died. You're definitely my prayers, love. Just remember to enjoy the time that you have left. Too much over what's coming, but instead try to enjoy what you do have while it's here. That's nice that you get to replace that day with happiness, though, right? And a new marriage and a new union that's coming together. And energy never dies. That is something that is fully alive within you every day. Regardless of whether or not that person is gone, they're never truly gone. You keep them alive through yourself. I will probably be on here for about 20 more minutes. So if you get the payment in question in quick, we can definitely get that done for you. Then I got to go take care of so many other things today. So we have this donkey here. Somebody could be feeling like a bit of a jackass. Some of you could actually even be dealing with somebody that is experiencing a lot of rites of passage right now. Some of you may be dealing with somebody that did not get a chance to do that when they were younger as well. Or some of you could be that person. But like I said before, everybody experiences different things in different times at their own rate. Some people prioritize one thing over other things, and then they kind of got to go back and go learn those other things because they didn't get to learn those things. And so when you're coming into anything new, you kind of feel like a jackass a bit. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't pursue it and that you shouldn't continue to learn and grow in that area. Because then you will start to feel a lot better and a lot more confident in those areas. Awesome. Thank you so much, sweetheart. My PayPal and Cash App are in the description box below, and from what I understand, it's not too hard to do that. I've never actually sent it to anyone else, although it's not too hard to be able to transfer it from my bank to those. Or from those to my bank. 411, hidden info coming out, secrets exposed, can't hide, public forum, all is seen. So, there are definitely some secrets that have been exposed or that have been coming out, whether it's in your life or someone else's life. And people may be feeling really stupid because of the way that they acted, or feeling like maybe they overindulged in certain areas or messed up in certain areas or whatever the case may be. And they could have acted in really fucked up ways because of this. Because they felt like they couldn't hide, or because they felt like everybody saw who they were. A lot of people really can behave very aggressively or lash out very harshly when they feel like people are going to see some of the things that they've kept hidden for a long time. Because they feel very scared or very nervous that people won't accept them or won't love them. Or especially if they come from a family like one of my exes, where you must be perfect in order to be loved, basically. And if you are not perfect, then you cannot be loved. And that's where a lot of those people that you think are narcissists come from, is families like that. Where they have to be everything that's perfect and beautiful all the time, or everyone will shun them and turn away from them. It's kind of like our society is trying to become in this country. Everyone keeps telling me that I'm supposed to walk away from the people that I love, the people that have been there in my hardest times. Because those people are going through hard times themselves, or because those people are overly indulging in certain substances. Everybody is an addict in their own ways, for one thing. Look how many people are eating themselves to death, or sitting and staring at a TV 24/7, or sitting and staring at their phone 24/7, or a video game 24/7, or have headphones on 24/7. That affects your whole world around you too. And when whatever you're doing is done so much that it affects your entire world around you, that is an addiction. And it doesn't matter what it is, because it affects your life negatively. Should we just walk away from everybody on this fucking planet because of that? In their hardest time? Or should we fight through that fear and that illusion that they put in front of us and be there for those that we love? There is a price to loyalty. There is a price to love. And that means that you have to give some of it away. I wish somebody would have told me that to get love, you have to give some of it away. That to get trust, you have to give some of it away. There's a song that says that. Great song. Awesome, sweetheart. Go ahead and throw your question down there, and I will answer it in between messages. Bathtub. Shocking events, lit up exposure. Somebody may actually be finding out about certain things made public that should have been private. Maybe activities that you were doing that should have been private that somebody may have made public without your knowledge. And there's going to be things to be grateful for in that too. It's going to be really hard to find the gratitude in those moments. But you're going to have to dig down deep to find that gratitude. You got to dig a little deeper and find out who you are. Dig a little deeper. It's really not that far. Gemini. Somebody's older sister could be involved in something, or somebody's mother-like figure. Not necessarily an actual mother, but a mother-like figure. Nobody can give too much love, but we have to give to ourselves as much love as we are giving to the world outside of ourselves for that balance. And that includes tough love. Tough love is love too. And reminding ourselves of that and acting in that energy when we need to is something that's very important. So something from your childhood could definitely be coming out. Something to do with an older sibling possibly as well. Someone might have actually even seen something or known something about something that happened to you. Or there could be somebody that didn't know something was going on and they had been through a similar thing, so they felt like they should have known. They felt like they should have done something. They felt like they should have protected you. Somebody could have actually created an extremely strong distance between you and themselves because of the guilt that they felt at what happened to you in some way. They may have blamed themselves. When we are in that position where we're filling everybody else's cup and they're not filling ours, A lot of that is because we don't know how to take. When somebody says, hey, did you need help with that? And you go, no, I'm good. I got this. You are giving up that opportunity to allow somebody to fill your cup. And then they stop offering too. Because they're like, oh, they always got everything. They don't want my help. My help's not even good enough for them. Or, they go through, there's a lot of different emotions that they go through in that. And there's a lot of different emotions you go through in that. A lot of times we are the ones stopping that flow. So really look at your interactions with people and ask yourself if you stop people from filling your cup and if you ask for that help when you need it or not. Because we feel like sometimes we shouldn't have to ask for help. They see us, they know what we're going through, but sometimes they don't want to step on any toes. They don't want to make you feel like you can't handle it, or they don't want to make you feel bad in some way, or they don't want to, things like that. And so sometimes it takes, and if you don't learn how to do that, the universe will put you in a place where you have to. Trust me, because they did me. And I had to learn how to ask. 33. Very guided, protected. You're learning, you're growing, and don't be ashamed of yourself or feel bad about that. Celebrate the successes that you're making in healing some of your foundation. There's a lot of things from your childhood that could definitely be affecting this. Someone may get ready, someone may be passing away, and there might be something that's exposed when somebody passes away as well. Memoirs of a Geisha is coming to mind. There might have even been something about somebody selling somebody in particular, or maybe even selling videos or photos of somebody, or maybe even, yeah. The growth that you've gone through is something that's being exposed as well. Somebody may have some sort of artwork, some sort of creation. Somebody may have written something, or somebody may have drawn something or done some sort of photography at some point that may be getting ready to be exposed to. I found some pictures recently. That's why it's reminding me that I found some pictures recently in some of these old photos that really made me pause for a minute. Some pictures of my older sisters, as well as some pictures of myself, that made me pause for a minute. And, yeah, there could definitely be some things like that are getting ready to come out. I said, I'm sorry, Mama. I never meant to hurt you. I never meant to make you cry. But tonight, I'm cleaning out my closet. I'll take you back to 73, before I ever had a multi-platinum selling CD. I was a baby, maybe I was just a couple of months. My faggot father must have had his panties up in a bunch because he split. I wonder if he even kissed me goodbye. No, I don't. On second thought, I just fucking wish he would die. I look at Haley and I couldn't picture leaving her side. Even if I hated Kim, I grit my teeth and I try to make it work with her, at least for Haley's sake. See, there could be a lot of judgments getting ready to come out too. There could be a lot of things that are getting ready to be seen and exposed and known for what they are. And there could be a lot of upset people because of it, including yourself. And there's going to be a need for you to really, really focus on what is truly important and focus on what you're truly grateful for. Poppies from California. There was a girl that was kidnapped in California a few years back that I was really researching this last year. I want to say it was around like 87-ish. She was about 10 years old. She was picked up in California and they've never found her. That could be something that's getting ready to be exposed as well. There might be some things that are getting ready to be exposed that you have known about in certain ways. And so you're going to get a chance to be very grateful for finally your intuition is actually being backed up. Like, you're going to be seeing that the things that you thought were going on there, the things that you thought you knew. I have definitely, be easy on yourself at this time. Be easy on yourself, be easy on others. Try not to completely destroy all the connections in your life, because that can definitely happen. And then you can really end up completely alone because of the hurt and pain that you're going through. Bring me back. My daughter. So, what do you see? What do I see for you in the future, Holly? What do you need to know? You just made some big changes. What do you need to know? You're going to be feeling very strong, very confident, very solid, very stable, able to handle things without others. There's going to be a lot of abundance coming in your life. And this abundance is going to be because of the decisions that you've made, the actions that you've taken. It's going to be because of your ability to balance out both the shadow and the light side of yourself, to see, acknowledge, and love both parts of yourself. And to see, acknowledge, and love those parts in other people as well. And also to be able to hold your ground and wait for what it is that you truly want, instead of just stepping into something simply because you don't want to be alone, or simply because you're afraid or worried that you won't have what you need if you don't step into something that you don't necessarily want. You're welcome, sweetheart. Lots of love sent your way as well. 3 of Swords and the 9 of Cups. There may be a lot of pain that is being felt at this time because you're feeling like there were things that were too good to be true, or you may be feeling like there's secrets hidden in the dark, things that you don't know about, and you may be focused very heavily on that instead of what there is to be grateful for in front of you. There's going to be some things that are going to be being lit up, things that are going to be very shocking. But know that these things that are happening in your life and these things that you're going to be experiencing is so that you can find your happy ending as well, so that you can have your wish come true. Because you may have thought your wish come true was in a certain area or a certain place or with a certain person or whatever the case may be, but you may actually find that something else completely is where you truly want to be, or where you truly belong, or where you're truly accepted. True colors is coming to mind right now. And what's leading to those places is the experiences that you're going through now, and the losses and the deaths and the transformations that are taking place to clear things out of the way, to bring in much better things. And sometimes it does take selfishness, or what you think is selfishness, to create that balanced, equal give and take. Your dark side is a very important aspect of you. Without your dark side, you cannot protect yourself. Without your dark side, you can't protect those that you love. Without your dark side, your light side cannot thrive. Without shadow, there's no light. And without light, there's no shadow. I can understand being that way. You may have really felt like certain situations were where your happiness truly lied. But I feel like these situations were not meant to be something that was long lasting. It was meant to be temporary. And yes, there was a lot of happiness in it. There was a lot of happiness in it. Just because it ended in pain doesn't mean there wasn't happiness. Doesn't mean there wasn't love. Doesn't mean there wasn't care. Doesn't mean there wasn't beauty in it. But there was also a lot of pain, hardship, hurt. Every situation is going to be like that. Every experience is going to be like that. But there are some experiences where you as a person thrive, grow, and feel much better as well than you do in other situations. And it's because of these situations and learning and growing as we go that we get to that point. There could definitely have been a third-party situation where you broke free of it, or will be. You're going to be experiencing a lot of happiness, though, a lot of joy. You're going to be discovering parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. And as you express those parts of yourself even more, and you pull them out of the closet, you're going to be finding other people who can relate to you much better. They can relate to you much better because they're not perfect either. Because they have that shadow side too. Because they have those things inside of them as well. Somebody was actually talking to me the other day about what they would like to do to pedophiles. And you know what? I can fully understand exactly where they're coming from on that front. And yes, if it was my kids, or if it was any child that I knew, or if it was anything that I happened to see and there was nothing being done about it, I could tell you what. It would definitely be extremely hard to hold myself back from doing exactly what they were talking about doing. But my kids don't need me in prison, and that's what I told my dad when he was telling me that he was going to kill him. And I was like, you know what? I don't need you in prison. I need you here. And if you kill him, you're going to go to prison, which is kind of sad. Fucking protect your family, defend them, stand up for them, and you get to spend the rest of your life in prison. You're not even allowed to be a hero anymore, because the hero has a shadow side too. It takes that shadow side to do that. And that's kind of sad that you're not allowed to do that. I don't know why I went into that tangent, but apparently there's a reason for it. Eight of Scythes and Page of Scythes. There could have definitely been somebody that was looking at your life with jealousy or envy at some point. They could have thought that you had everything so perfect. They could have wanted to live your life in some sort of way. And these struggles that you're going to be experiencing are also going to show this person that you're human too. That you go through things too. That you've experienced pain too. That your life is no more perfect than theirs. That you're just an extremely strong person. You've probably been through more than your fair share of a lot of those things, which is why you're as strong as you are. There may be some things that you kind of feel blind to, or that you kind of feel like you aren't able to act on in some way. No, this person feels stuck. This person feels stuck and like they cannot express themselves the way they want to. They can't be themselves. They can't experience life the way they want to. They may be very envious of your position as a single person as well. And your position as a single person may be something that is very fun and free and happy in some ways. But in other ways, there's a lot of pain, loneliness, heartache. And it may be time to kind of get a little bit more vulnerable. And sorry about that. I've been doing pretty good about making sure it didn't overheat this morning, but my phone just overheated. And now we're back. So allowing yourself to be seen more as a whole person instead of just the happy side or just the good side. A few years back, there was a friend of mine. He was every picture he was in, he looked so miserable and so sad and so upset and so hurt. And I was constantly telling him to smile. But you know what? Why should he have to smile? He was in pain. He should be able to just be in pain. And everybody should get the hell over it. But that's also because, you know what? I'm okay with showing my pain more now. Instead of just allowing people to see that happier side, that softer side, that more picture perfect side. Why do we have to be perfect? We don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be perfect, and you can show those parts of yourself too. And it's going to improve the relationships in your life. It's going to bring a lot more happiness, peace, and joy to you and the ones that you love. It's because, you know what? When we were children, we were not allowed to express those parts of ourselves. My aunt used to tell me that if you cried and people could hear you or see you crying, that it wasn't real. That it was only real if you were crying softly and in private or something along those lines. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. But you know what? I repeated that line to my oldest daughter a couple times, and I am so sorry I did. Because she's a Pisces. And she has so many fucking emotions inside of her, and she should be able to express those emotions just like anybody else should. And maybe she wouldn't hate me so much for having them myself if it wasn't for that. Exactly. My ex used to get so upset with me when we first got together back in the day, in like 2009. He used to get so upset at me because why are you always so happy around everyone else? And then when we come home, you're just miserable and it's awful and all kinds of other stuff. And I was like, it's not that I'm so much happier around everyone else and I'm miserable around you. It's that around you I feel comfortable being myself. I should be able to be myself in my own house around the people that I love, and I should be able to be that way around anybody, honestly. And anybody that doesn't like it, they can kiss my ass. My loved ones shouldn't have to suffer through my worst, while everyone else gets my best. They should get some of my best too, and everyone else should get some of my worst too. And then it's a little bit more balanced. Exactly. And sometimes they do want you to only be happy around them, but a lot of that is because it makes them so unhappy to see you unhappy, which is something we should be grateful for and something that we should, appreciate. And at the same time, that doesn't make it okay either. You should be able to be in a space where you can just be comfortable to have emotions and feel what you're feeling. And if they want the best of you, then they have to be willing to accept the worst of you too. And that's the other thing too. When you're getting into a connection, a lot of times you end up showing them some of the worst parts of yourself. And that's because, you know what? You want to know if this person can handle those worst parts of yourself. If they can't handle them, what's the point of wasting your time here? What are you just going to show them only the sunshine rays, and then 2 years from now, all of a sudden, everything else hits them? Because you were showing them only the shallow portion of yourself, and vice versa. So definitely do not be afraid to express those parts of yourself, and don't feel like in some way you were the one who destroyed things simply because you had emotions, because you didn't. And that's how you're going to find the best relationships, even if that one wasn't the best relationship. Some people can handle those things and some people can't. The ones that can, those are the ones that are worth your time and energy in your life. Sometimes people are extremely self-centered, and sometimes people are just having a hard time living their life and being happy in their own life. Okay, you want to know what people think an energy vampire is? It's somebody who's down, somebody who's hurting, somebody who's in pain, and somebody who's sucking up the energy of everybody that's happy around them because they're in this misery and it's bringing everybody down to this miserable level. Or they're just in pain, they're hurting, and they need a shoulder to cry on, and maybe you can lend them that shoulder today, and maybe you can't. If you can't, you excuse yourself. If you can, you lend them that shoulder. But because they feel guilty, or because they feel like they have to do everything for everyone, or because of whatever, and they're giving all of their power, all their energy, and everything away, they blame it on the other person instead of taking their own accountability and responsibility. My energy is infinite, but it's only infinite if I take care of it. And if I'm giving it away to everyone all the time, like that Yellow Wolf song, till it's gone, then what am I supposed to offer anybody? But I'm the one choosing to give it away. I can also choose to stop giving it away. So an energy vampire can only suck up all your energy if you give it to them freely. You're gonna have a shoulder, sweetheart. All it takes is being brave enough to be vulnerable, and even when it's not accepted or appreciated in certain circumstances, doing it again. Trusting yourself to take that leap again, even if the last one didn't work out. And every time we learn a bit more about ourselves and about other people, and every time we get closer to finding that one that is going to allow us to cry on that shoulder. Exactly, you will. But it does take getting vulnerable, and it takes doing it, even when it's rejected. And it hurts and it's painful when it's rejected. But when it's accepted, it was so worth every pain you got getting to that acceptance. Look at that, a brand new beginning. A brand new beginning of confidence, strength, stability, solidity. Of being able to take care of all those things yourself and not feeling like you need them from the outside, but at the same time being able to appreciate them so much when they do come in. That's the other thing. If it was given to us so freely like that, we would not appreciate it. But because it took so much to get there, you're going to appreciate it so much more than another person would by the time you find that person that's going to give you that shoulder. And because you appreciate it, you'll be able to keep it around. And vice versa, you're going to find somebody who's going to appreciate you doing the same for them as well. Fuck, I'm at 35 years and I finally found some people that just allow me to hurt. After Jeremiah got out of jail this last time, There was a night where we were sitting there and I just started bawling and bawling and bawling, and I couldn't even talk to him to tell him what was wrong. And he asked what was wrong, but he asked once. And then he sat there and he petted my hair and he held on to me, and he was just there to hold me. He wasn't yelling at me. He wasn't upset with me. He wasn't frustrated. He wasn't trying so hard to figure out what was wrong with me, instead of just being able to sit there and patiently wait for me to get everything out that I needed to get out. And it was absolutely fucking beautiful. But I am so glad it took so long to get to, because I can remember that gratitude right now while he is not here sitting next to me. Start doing that more in front of people and you're going to find somebody. Because it's inevitable. There are people that will. There are people that get so frustrated and hurt and upset, and it's because they feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they can't handle this, or they feel like they need to do something to fix it. But there's nothing to do to fix it. There's just chill. And wait for this tidal wave to be over. Wave to recede back into the ocean, and everything to be stable again. And it will. But sometimes we don't know how to do that, especially if nobody was there to do it for us. You're very welcome, sweetheart. And thank you guys so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you all for the support you bring my way. Thank you for purchasing today. Thank you for the donations you guys send my way, the love you send my way, the prayers you send my way, likes, shares, comments, subscribes, everything that you do to support me, my channel, and the work that I do here. It is so important to me, and it means so much to me. And I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys have a beautiful night or day, whatever it is, wherever you are when you're watching. Bye-bye, guys.